Alrighty, welcome to the first time I'm going to be drafting the new Magic Online cube, which is actually pretty sweet because they made a lot of the changes that I've been making to my cube over the past couple weeks. And pick one, pack one. We've got Entomb versus Hole Breacher versus Wheel of Fortune, I guess, versus Counterspell and Steam Vents. You know what? I'm kind of feeling Entomb. Part of the issue with taking Hole Breacher is Wheel's in the same pack, and Wheel's actually one of the best cards with Hole Breacher. And if you look at my top 50 list, I think I had Entomb higher there. Oh, and there's an Animate Dead. This is kind of the perfect start. I haven't gotten to draft Reanimator in a little bit. And I would say starting Entomb and Animate Dead is about as good as it gets. Oh, there's a Novice and Spectre as well. There's a Lightning Bolt and a Misty Rainforest, but Animate Dead is the perfect follow-up. Oh, there's Archon of Cruelty, third. These packs are rigged. This is actually just perfect because now I get to take Archon, which is the best reanimation target. And my first three picks are Entomb, Animate, Archon. Passing fast bond, so whoever took the Hole Breacher or Wheel could have a good time with that. Two more fetch lands and an Oko, so I mean this was a strong pack at least. But I'm very happy to be starting with these three cards, and I have high hopes for this deck now. Alright, this is the first pick that wasn't just a windmill slam. Here, could take a fetch land, but Windswept Heath is pretty far off color. Could take Reprieve, which is fine, but Black-White Reanimator is not really what I want. I might just take Malcolm. This is pretty good for Reanimator. It's a pretty high level card or high power level card. I think Malcolm's pretty solid. That pack wasn't the most exciting, and getting a 2/1 flash that lets me discard my Archon so I can animate it seems fine to me. Whoa. This pack has a Strip Mine in it, an Emrakul, and a Grave Titan, as well as an Oliphant. There's also a Teferi for that matter, and a Prismatic Vista. My problem with Emrakul is that I don't have Shallow Grave or Corpse Dance yet. Prismatic Vista is just a fine pick. Strip Mine's also really good. I might just take it. It's just a very strong card. And yeah, I mean, I think Grave Titan and Oliphant are both good too, but Strip Mine is just such a good card because it's colorless. You know, it doesn't matter what my secondary color is at all, even though I'm pretty much a lock to play black. You also can tap it for mana or destroy their land, so you get the choice of which of those two is better for you. And overall, I think Strip Mine just is a solid pick there, even if I never end up getting anything to combo with it. Though now that I have Entomb and Strip Mine, Crucible actually becomes a pretty real thing too. Alright, now this pack has Shelldock Isle versus Through the Breach. Breach Archon is fantastic. There's also Collective Brutality, but I don't think I want Collective Brutality as much as one of the other two cards. And I'm kind of thinking Shelldock. I have the Malcolm already, and I also really like Shelldock in Reanimator decks, so I'm just gonna take that. Plus, we already passed Emrakul. Emrakul Breach is very strong, and probably not. I would imagine not getting the Emrakul back. Alright, well, I guess we're playing red then, because Fable of the Mirror Breaker was the 7th pick. That's outrageous. Alright, we're going to slam Fable. Now I kind of wish I took Breach, because Fable doesn't go as well with Malcolm and Shelldock. But first of all, could play all three colors. Second of all, could cut the blue. Who knows? Could also even cut Fable, but we'll see which direction we end up. But Fable is just too strong to pass there. And this pack doesn't really have anything. Teferi is the only good card in the pack, though there is a black-green duel. I think I'll just take the Teferi and kind of move that to the sideboard. I don't think I'm going to play it, but there's a world where we end up more on the Teferi side of things. I don't really know what that world is, but you never know. While I am surprised to see Parallax Wave still here, I think Deep Cavern Bat is a pretty solid pickup. It is a little concerning that I haven't gotten a black card since my first three picks, but Entomb, Animate, Archon is pretty hard to walk away from, so I'm just going to operate under the assumption that I'm still going to be playing those cards, even though I don't know if Malcolm or Fable or both are going to make the cut after. Well, now I could just take Blackcleave Cliffs. I think that's a little more important than a Braid, because if I want to play this Fable, then Blackcleave Cliffs will really help in doing so. So we've got some fixing at least. Whoa. What's Fastpawn still doing here? I don't know. I'm still going to take Bone Crusher because it looks like red-black is a little more open than blue. I'll put the blue in the sideboard for the moment. Here, I could take Gix, but I think it's pretty unplayable. I'll take the Oath of Druids. There's a small chance that I could end up playing Oath, and I guess I'll take Temple Garden just because it's always good to take duels. But even if we're not very many cards into this, given how the packs broke, I still think this is a fine place to start, and we can abandon a couple picks to try to settle on our colors, because in Cube, you're never going to really run short on playables. And then here, oh, Fiery Confluence with 2 cards left. All right, well, we take those. Fiery Confluence is amazing, so I feel even better about playing red-black. Really, the only thing I wish is I took the Through the Breach over the Shelldock Isle, but I think this is a perfectly fine pack 1, and the late red cards have made me pretty happy about moving into red. Okay, here we have Grief and we have Inti, and they're both very good. There's also a Concealing Curtains I might get back on the wheel. I kind of feel like Grief, because just the Grief Animate start is so busted, and its additional disruption, which is nice, where Fable and Bone Crusher play the fair game pretty well. Plus, Inti's a new card. It's honestly not 0% that Inti could wheel. It'd be kind of ridiculous if it did, but it definitely could happen. So we'll see. All right, and here we've got Necromancy, another one of the just really good reanimate spells. It goes kind of in order by casting cost. Reanimate, Animate Dead, Necromancy are 1, 2, 3, but I'll take Necromancy. Works well with Grief, works well with Archon. Just the perfect card. Plus, if Troll of Khazad-dûm wheels, I'll be pretty thrilled. In here, there's Underworld Breach, but that's not where we're at. Faithless Looting, though. Faithless Looting is where we're at. We need more big creatures here, but we'll pick those up, and Faithless Looting is exactly what this deck needs to kind of get its engine going. Pass up on a Bauble there. That's not a big deal. Inquisition versus Marsh Flats. We haven't seen Badlands or, I don't think, or Blood Crypt, so Marsh Flats is still quite live, but Inquisition's also pretty important for this kind of deck. So as much as I've bashed Inquisition in the past, I actually think it's pretty good now, so I'm in on Inquisition. And here, while there is a Wasteland, there's also a Fire Covenant. Weird card, but very, very good. Basically just kills all their creatures. So putting Fire Covenant in your deck makes you very good against the fair decks. Though this deck's a little slanted towards that with Fiery Confluence and Bone Crusher and Fable. Those are all pretty good against fair decks. I still think Fire Covenant's enough better than a Wasteland that I should take it. And here, happy enough taking Lelia. This card's actually going to be an actual Modern now in Modern Horizons 3, but we'll take Lelia. We're ahead of the curve here in Cube. And what is this? Oh, that's Dark Confidant. Huh. I don't really like Dark Confidant Reanimator. Ashen Rider is just okay, though it's kind of nice with Necromancy because you can like play Necromancy as an instant and just get both triggers. There's also Unearth, which is pretty great with Lelia, solid with Deep Cavern Bat. It's okay with Bone Crusher. I don't like Angel that much, but we really do need a second target, and I don't think Woodfall Primus is that good. I like Angel of Despair more. Wow, there's Snuff Out and Gut here. They're both very good. There's also Goblin Rabble Master, but I'd rather take Gut if I was going to take that. I kind of feel pack 2. We could get some 2-drops for Gut, and we already have Fire Covenant and Fiery Confluence. We're pretty good against creatures, I feel like. Oh, Inti came back. I knew it. I called that one. Ridiculous that it came back, how good it is, but I'm slamming Inti over Concealing Curtains here. And then here, I actually think I might take Porcelain Legionnaire over Ferocidon. I have so many 3-drops, and I would probably play this 2-drop. Phyrexian Dragon Engine's still in the cube. I don't think this one's very good, but I guess I can discard it and then reanimate it is kind of the idea. I think I'll just take Nurturing Peatland instead, just as an additional kind of gassy land there. Okay, I mean, this deck's really shaping up. Red-black Reanimator here. All right, and at this point, I'm definitely not going to be trying to splash blue, so I'm just going to take Dragon's Rage Channeler since I feel like this deck could actually make use of all parts of the Channeler, these last picks or whatever. Oh, Dark Confidant. I'll probably sideboard Dark Confidant. If you play against an opponent not attacking your life total, I actually don't mind it, even with some 8-drops, because if they're really not pressuring you, then getting to draw an extra card every turn is pretty sick. All right, in pack 3, we've opened Mana Vault. You know, Mana Vault works pretty well with a lot of these 3-drops. It's not like the perfect fit, but you can sack it to Gut. You can cast a turn 2 Grief or a turn 2 Fable. Like, all those things are fine. I'm going to take that over taking like Dothy Voidwalker, which might even come back anyway. Nothing else there was too interesting. And here has Fury. I'm definitely going to take Fury. I like Shallow Grave with Archon, but Shallow Grave will either come back in most cases, or it won't, and that's fine too, because Fury with all these red cards to pitch and some ways to animate, plus Mana Vault just to cast it, is really, really good. Okay, here there's Magda versus Arid Mesa. There's a Solitude too, but can't really take it. Arid Mesa doesn't get black-red yet, and I think Magda's just way too perfect because it's so good with Gut that I think I've got to just take Magda here. Look, I'll take Badlands and it'll be good. I don't think I need to take a fetch land over a 2-drop, which I really need. All right, now here's Life Death and Exhume. I think in an aggressive deck, I'd rather have Life Death here. It's great with both Fury and Grief, great with Archon. I mean, it just does all the things. Exhume might wheel, Preacher might wheel, Grim Lavamancer might wheel. Any of those coming back would be awesome. And here we've got Duretti versus Caracas. Caracas can bounce our own Gut or Lelia or Magda or Inti. That's kind of a lot. I think having Caracas in the deck is really good, and this doesn't even look like an amazing Duretti deck. It's just, it would be a fine card, of course, but we got plenty of playables here. I think taking Caracas is nice. All right, and here we've got a Bitter Reunion versus a Firebolt. Bitter Reunion. So we have Faithless Looting as a discard outlet, Inti as a discard outlet, and that's it. Oh, and Fable. Yeah, I could see taking a Bitter Reunion. We could use one more Reanimate target, and I think Palace Jailer is not quite what I want. Oh, well, there's Gristlebrand, so yeah, Gristlebrand will be it. And it's good with Bitter Reunion, give it haste. Over Fire Ice, I think that's pretty easy. And then Blood Tithe, oh, perfect. There's also a Crucible to go with Strip Mine. But this is such a perfect Blood Tithe deck. It's a discard outlet for my Reanimate stuff, and it works really well with Gut. Also, I don't have any tutors except, I guess, the Entomb for Strip Mine. If I had a Vamp tutor, I'd be a lot more inclined to take Crucible, but given that I don't, I think I'm happy not taking it and just taking the Blood Tithe. Blood Tithe is really good for this deck. The Dothy Voidwalker didn't wheel, unsurprisingly. I thought it might, but I didn't think it was going to. All right, I'm not going to play any of these cards. I actually have to cut a couple cards here. I don't really want to cut any of the big cards. I could cut Bitter Reunion, I guess. I don't love that. Maybe I'll cut Porcelain Legionnaire. Card is just okay, and that leaves us with 16 land plus Mana Vault. This deck could probably play 17, and I guess maybe it wants to cut. No, I don't really want to cut Ashen Rider, honestly, but I have to cut something. I don't really want to cut Fire Covenant either, because Fire Covenant is just a really strong card. There's also Fiery Confluence. I love that card too. I like all my 2s. I guess I could cut Dragon's Rage Channeler, but this looks like a pretty good Dragon's Rage Channeler deck. Maybe I just cut Ashen Rider, and I have an upgrade. Oh, there's a Shallow Grave too. Okay, yeah, I'm going to take the Shallow Grave, and I think over Torsten. This isn't really a good Torsten deck exactly. Oh, I have a Depths. I could take Stage Depths. I'm not going to play Tenacious Underdog. I'm probably not going to play Stage Depths either, but I like having the option. I'll take the Ashen Rider out because she doesn't work with Shallow Grave, and now I'm just going to focus on getting Archon or Gristlebrand in. Oh, Exhume. I actually could go a slightly different direction here. The other option, oh, Duretti came back. I don't think I'm going to play it necessarily. The other option, what's going on with this Palace Jailer? What? Is, I guess maybe I just cut some of the beatdown elements and focus more on reanimating. All right, so taking a look at the deck here, take out the lands for a second. Now that so I got some late breaking news, as it were, picking up an Exhume and a Shallow Grave. That kind of makes me want to put Ashen Rider back in, take out Dragon's Rage Channeler, take out Bone Crusher Giant, and I guess Fable goes up there. And then maybe I take out Fiery Confluence, because it's either Fiery Confluence or Fire Covenant. They're both pretty good. Fire Covenant pitches to both elementals, which is kind of nice. I think Inti and Magda and Blood Tithe are all really good. So maybe I take out Fiery Confluence and play 17 lands. I could also play 16 lands because I have the Mana Vault, but one of my lands is Strip Mine, one's Caracas, and I don't really have that much fixing, so I don't think I want to do that. All right, I think I'm going to try this, and if I want to side in Fiery Confluence, Trat Channeler, and Bone Crusher, I could go more aggro, but I'm going to start with the more combo-y version. Yeah, that seems good. All right, no planes. 8-4? No, I don't think that's how we're going to do things. Yeah, so if I do 8-6, then I'll have 9 black and 7 red. I guess playing 2 colorless lands is kind of awkward. I kind of want 8-8, which means I'm at too many lands. And maybe I have a bunch of red draw, so maybe I can cut 1 swamp. And then I kind of have to play 18 lands if I want to play both Caracas. Honestly, I think I'm just not going to start the Caracas. My mana is just too bad. All right. Let's see how this goes, and we'll sideboard as necessary. All right, time for round one. I am battling here, and oh, this hand has a pretty early grief. Yeah, so I'm going to keep this. In my plan here, actually, yeah, this hand's great. I just need to make sure not to Inquisition creatures it because I'm going to cast Exhume. What I'm going to do is go turn one, Swamp Inquisition. Depending on what my opponent has in hand, of course, I might then pitch Shallow Grave to grief them, hopefully taking two non-creatures. I'll him to 5. Okay. Really hope they have a handful of non-creature spells here. Oh, they do. That they do. All right, so let's just take the Burst Lightning. They can keep the Mox Diamond. Mox Diamond when you mold to 5 is not really a good card at all. I'm going to wait a turn, and then I'm going to double grief them here. And I guess hope they've drawn a spell. Because I didn't think they were going to play them. Oh, they are going to play the Mox. Okay. Fair enough. Let's see what they've drawn here, because I think it's worth doing this. Grief, exile Shallow Grave. And if I'm lucky, they've drawn a spell. Let's see. They have. Oh, I got to hit their Breach. Excellent. And then let's exhume it back and take the Aetherflux Reservoir. And they're down to 2 permanents, no cards in hand on turn 2. I guess I don't have like that much more, but it is funny. All right. There's not that many spells they can cast from here, I wouldn't imagine. Okay, they drew a forest. And if I draw like any sort of creature, any sort of anything, we're in great shape. But as is, basically I have 5 land and a grief, and they have 3 land. So now 4. All right, they've drawn a couple land here, but still feel pretty good about the situation. Oh, there's Lelia. All right, yeah, this game is going to end in about a turn. If they miss, they're basically dead. And Lelia misses on Fury, which is fine. Play my land, pass the turn. Obviously, I played the land after attacking with Lelia in case I hit a land off Lelia. And looks like they're a Breach combo deck, which doesn't make me want to go to the beatdown plan anymore. It does make me want Dark Confidant a little bit. Probably over Fire Covenant here, based on what they look like. Dragon's Rage Channeler could also be decent. I'm not ready to cut Fury on spec. Fury is a pretty strong card. Okay. Let's see. Let's see here. And what is this hand? This hand looks pretty good to me. We've got turn 3 Fable or Lelia, and then Animate Dead to draw after that. I mean, this hand's a little bit slow, but I still think it's fine. They mold to 6 here. Any hand disruption makes this hand a lot better, or drawing a 2-drop. Actually, drawing Dark Confidant would be pretty good. I would not complain about a Dark Confidant right now. All right, they're going to go Mountain, go. Oh, Mogda's a fantastic draw. Because now, yeah, maybe they'll Burst Lightning Mogda, but that just means they're not killing Fable or Lelia, which is a pretty big win. And, yeah, it looks like they do have it. But that opens the door for probably Lelia to hit them, though. Actually, I'm not 100% sure. Talisman. No land. Oh, and Steam Vents. Okay. And they're paying the life, huh? Oh, there's Gristlebrand. Well, in that case, I'm just going to cast Fable here. Obviously, they might counter it, but having a Fable out would let me discard Gristlebrand and animate it next turn. And because that's one of the places where having Grief in the deck is awesome. Because of Grief and Inquisition, I can draw 7 off Gristlebrand, maybe another 7 if I need to, and pretty reliably hammer their hand. Looks like my Goblin is getting torched. Yeah, that's fine. Fable the Mirrorbreaker, quite the card. Won the last 4 Pro Tours, including in our Vampires deck, which was pretty sweet. All right, they didn't play a land, they didn't do anything. Yeah, I'm going to use the ability to discard Gristlebrand Mountain, draw 2. Guess I'll play the land to play around Miscalculation, and here's Gristlebrand. You got a counterspell? Okay, no. And let's draw 7 here. And I really hope to hit a hand disruption piece in that 7. I didn't. Yeah, I'll draw 7 more. I just feel like it's worth, yeah, hitting Inquisition of Kozilek here. So let's start with that, and then we're going to Grief afterwards. They have Manamorphose, Mox Pearl, Underworld Breach. All right, so I'm going to take Manamorphose then, because I'm also going to breach or Grief them and get the breach. And I don't have the ability to do anything else this turn that's super relevant, so I'll just play the Mana Vault and pass the turn. They don't have any creatures in their graveyard. Let's discard Archon, Ashen Rider, and some lands here. And I guess I can discard the Entomb. All right, and pass the turn, and then they're pretty dead next turn. Obviously, they could draw something. Oh, they didn't. They drew an island. Their hand's a Pearl here. Okay, yeah, you got a Pearl. It's gonna be a tough battle for them, I suspect, because I'm gonna get Archon into play. Oh, Necromancy as well. Oh wow, so I can go Archon. Let's put that into play. Oh, that's what made you concede. Then I was going to Necromancy at instant speed and Strip Mine, so I was going to kill Steam Vent's Island Talisman. All right, pretty dominant performance round one. Let's get to round two. All right, time for round two. I'm on the play here, and yeah, this hand's fine. I don't directly have an animate target, but I get to go turn on Inquisition, turn 2 Blood Tithe, Strip Mine you, and because I have the blood from Blood Tithe, I can fire off a Bitter Reunion looking for a creature and still discard it to the blood. So this is a totally fine hand. My opponent mulligan to 6. A lot of mulligans on my opponent's side these days. Into another Brain Freeze deck? Okay. Ooh, this is actually kind of a tough one. Do I care about Brain Freeze, Baleful Strix, or LED? I think I just take the... Oh, no, I have Exhume. I really don't want to take Baleful Strix if I have Exhume. All right. I guess I'll take the LED. No, I'm going to take the Brain Freeze. The reason I'm taking Brain Freeze is I'm kind of scared if they draw Breach of Brain Freezing themselves to fuel Breach, or if I try to make them discard the Brain Freeze in response, they Brain Freeze themselves for 6 or 9. I kind of feel like I can come back and get the LED later. Maybe. I mean, it's tough. Oh, there's Entomb. Oh, in that case, we completely different plan, because now I just Strip Mine the Spire Bluff. End of turn Entomb. Floating a mana, okay. Pass the turn, and then end of turn I'm going to Entomb for, I guess, Archon and Exhume. It's that or Ashen Rider, but I think Archon ends the game sooner. There's also Gristlebrand. Actually, they're not playing combo. Let's just get Gristlebrand. Or sorry, they are playing combo. I'll definitely Exhume it over Life Deathing. They're not playing aggro, so I think just getting Gristlebrand is good. Oh, and they're just done. All right. I mean, I turned 3 Gristlebrand after Strip Mining and Inquisitioning them. That was just a great hand. So playing against another one of those decks, I kind of wish I had an Eldrazi. Yeah, once again, I think Dark Confidant is probably better than Fire Covenant, and Dragon's Rage Channeler might also be better than something here. Though I don't actually have something I want to take out quite yet for that. All right, let's just make that one swap here and see how game 2 goes. Keeps resizing my magical line. I don't know why. All right, what do we got here? Oh, we have a turn 3 Gristlebrand here. Yeah, I mean, can't mulligan that. They're mulliganing again. Every game my opponent's a mulligan, and I've had great hands. That's easy way to win, I'll tell you that much. All right. Let's see here. By the way, I'm recording this same day that I came back from the Pro Tour, where got an 11-5 finish. I lost my last round playing for top 8, which certainly does sting a bit, I will say that. But had a good run. 11-5 is a finish I'm proud of, and it qualifies me for the next Pro Tour, so that's pretty neat. All right, they cycled a Troll on turn 1 for a tap land. Okay. Now you're allowed to do that. Let's just cast Bitter Reunion, discard a card here, and discard Gristlebrand, and then pass the turn. And I don't really have a strong reason not to do anything but just Blackcleave Cliffs, Necromancy, the Gristlebrand. I guess you could make a small argument for like wanting to use Deep Cavern Bat first, but my opponent doesn't really seem like they're playing counterspells in their deck, so it feels like just getting Gristlebrand in now is better, because then I can also pay 7 life to Grief. Oh, this could be bad. If they have their own animate that hits my side of the board, like if they have an Animate Dead or Reanimate, then Discarding Gristlebrand and passing is, of course, a little bit risky. But game one, they look like a blue-red breach deck. They didn't really look like an animate deck, so wasn't really high on my radar. And if they're vamping and they haven't gotten it yet, if they have like an animate dead in their deck, they're just getting that immediately. So maybe they got something else going on. Or maybe not. We'll see. We'll see what the answers. I will say if they just pass the turn and don't play anything, I'm probably am going to lead with Deep Cavern Bat. Though I guess I could also try to play Necromancy at instant speed. I don't know. And now they're Imperial Sealing? Okay. That's interesting. So they got a card with Vamp, and now they're casting Imperial Seal, which makes me think they're not reanimating Gristlebrand necessarily, but what they might be doing is setting up Brain Freeze Breach, and they have maybe one or two of the pieces. We'll see. Okay, they did nothing here. That makes me kind of feel... Oh, I just drew the grief. I just drew it. He just I worked on the story all year. He just tweeted it out. All right. Well, let's grief pitching the Deep Cavern Bat, and then Gristlebrand after that. I even get Gristlebrand at instant speed here if I need to. All right. Grief you. And his Dark Ritual Doomsday Reign of Filth. Whoa, we were close to getting owned. I'm going to take the Doomsday, and I guess I am just going to get Gristlebrand back. I can't do anything else this turn with that, but I feel like getting Grief here doesn't really do anything. So let's get Gristlebrand, and I'll pay the 7 life now because I want to be able to discard Archon to hand size here as I get to. Land, Archon, and I guess Gut. Will that do anything? Nah, I mean, that's fine. All right, put the Gut in first and then Archon on top in case I draw Shallow Grave. Though I guess I could animate that at that point too. Oh, Phantasmal Image. Smart. Okay. Okay, this is getting interesting. That is a good play on their part for sure. I still think they're in a lot of trouble because I'm going to get to animate Archon and then Bitter Reunion it. So I don't really know how they get out of this. I guess if they have Time Walk in their deck, then they definitely could. All right, Reign of Filth. We're doing some things here. Let's see what you got. This is an impressive kind of rally here. Setting up the Phantasmal Image on top was really good. So they've cast Phantasmal Image, Reign of Filth, Dark Ritual. They could Tendrils me, but it wouldn't be for lethal. Is this Yawgmoth's Will? I probably die. Oh, Beseech the Mirror, but they can't bargain? They have 3 mana left. They've already played a land. I don't think Yawg-Will works. Depending on what they have in hand, I guess. They could draw 7 more with Gristlebrand. I mean, they're dead if they pass the turn anyway, so... Alright, I'm kind of interested to see what's going on here. I mean, there's nothing I can do. I can't... Paying life, I don't have any Moxes in my deck or anything, like, you know, that I could have done. Alright, 7 more. If they have Cabal Ritual in their deck, they might be able to get something going. I kind of feel like they're not supposed to beseech there. If they're going to pay 7 life after beseeching, they definitely should have just paid the 7 life first. Oh, they hit LED. That's probably bad news for me. Because if they have Yawgmoth's Will here, then I'm dead. And Demonic Tutor, but they didn't crack LED? Okay. I guess if they had Breach in their deck, they could have cracked it for red in response, but not cracking LED there seems dubious. Let's see what they do here. Their deck looks sick. This is a sick Doomsday deck. Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say they probably could have won on this turn. The LED DT thing, the beseeching, there's some shenanigans. But you know what? We take those. We won the match. And we're on to round 3, fighting for the trophy here. Alrighty, time for round 3. It's been pretty easy going so far. Oh, going to have to mulligan this hand. Oh, now it's our turn to mulligan, though this hand is a pretty good one. All right, I'm going to keep, and I think I just put Bitter Reunion back. We're just going all in here. I'm going to go turn 1 Faithless Looting, and See if I can discard Archon plus something else. See if I can find an animate, and maybe I'll even pitch Fire Covenant to grief them. That could be good. The one thing I have to be concerned about is Shallow Grave. So maybe, you know what? Maybe I should just pitch grief first. Yeah, that actually seems fine. Okay. Grief you, hand is another blue-red deck. Funny. Preordain, Jar, Time Warp, Rabblemaster. I'm going to take the Preordain here because I feel like I have a pretty good chance of getting something going before then. There's the Shallow Grave. All right. Discard those. And then what I might do is wait to Shallow Grave until they've Rabblemastered. Because I can eat the Rabblemaster and the 2 tokens. Oh, they played a Chromatic Star was their draw, sure. Draw. Obviously, if I draw like an Exhume or something, I'll just play that. Oh, Entomb. I could Shallow Grave a Gristlebrand. I think that's actually stronger, especially since I don't have anything else going on. I'd much rather just draw 7. I mean, my life total's under no pressure. They played an island so far. They're cracking the star. Okay. They're just hoping to hit something, probably. Or they had a little something. Hopefully not a Time Walk. Stomp me in the face. Sure. That's acceptable. Let's go end of turn. Let's fire off an Entomb here. Let's get Gristlebeezy. Draw. Shallow Grave the Gristlebrand. Pay 7. Ooh, those are some good ones. All right, let's hit for 7. And I'm going to go Strip Mine your island. And I already have an Archon to get back. I kind of feel like I don't really need to pay 7 more life. Like, my hand is just great. I already have a good thing to get back, and I have a way to discard to get back something else if I need to. So I don't really see a strong reason to do otherwise. Here, I think I will Necromancy just because it costs more mana. Get back Archon here. And then, yeah, they're done. They are done. We are speed running this draft, I'll tell you that much. Okay, so here I will not side in Dark Confidant. I'm kind of a little more interested in Bone Crusher Giant, though I guess Fury and Fire Covenant kind of do the trick. All right, in that case, I think I'm doing good here. All right, time for game 3 here, and so I have 2 things to discard plus a discard outlet. Yeah, that's probably fine. Inti's also just a pretty strong play. I'm a little worried about getting my Inti Bone Crushered here, because that would definitely suck. But A, if I draw Grief or Inquisition, I can clear the path. And B, I have a bunch of other discard outlets, so if Inti fails, it's not the end of the world here. All right, they're on Mountain Mana Crypt. Uh-oh. Well, no play after that, though. That's kind of weird. Mana. So do they have Stomp in hand? But if they had Stomp, they would have cast at end of turn, I feel like. Yeah, what's going on here? Oh, well, that's not good. All right. The One Ring is pretty strong. I will say that. Fable's not bad. Not bad at all. So let's go Inti first. If this works out, then I'll discard maybe Ashen Rider first, because it would be pretty nice to Ashen Rider that One Ring, but I kind of feel like Inti looks like it's just the most dead in the world for sure. Their follow-up is they haven't tapped the One Ring yet. Yeah, draw your cards first. I guess I'll play Fable, but turn 2 One Ring on the play is pretty hard to compete with. Broadside Bombardiers. Yep, I'll take 2. And then they can sack any of those artifacts to deal damage to me if they want to, though they don't really have a reason to yet. There's Gut. Gut doesn't do a whole lot for me here. Fable. So I don't get to block yet. They go to 17, and they did lose the Mana Crypt flip for the first time, so they're at 14 now. But again, the Bombardiers can either toss the Mana Crypt at the Shaman if they want, or the One Ring at me for 6 if they really want. They have 9 cards in hand. I feel really dead here. we gonna fumble it in the finals? We are 5-0 so far. Let's take our 2. I mean, we are drawing like a shallow grave away from doing something pretty good here, I would imagine. Obviously, they have a lot of cards in hand, so this is like a time warp or something. Yeah, I feel pretty dead. Maybe they take 6 here down to 8, but again, they can kind of get out of the one ring with a. Yeah, they lost the flip. Bombardiers does keep them from being at too much risk. And they have a million cards in hand. I guess right now I'm effectively at 8 life once they attack and throw the ring at me, though that's not a gimme. You can't necessarily do much. Another LED player? We just played against 3 LEDs in a row. That's funny. Okay, well, they've drawn half their deck. If they can combo me out this turn, I wouldn't be surprised. If they just attack and have a counterspell up, that probably is enough. I mean, it's not like I'm doing much. Bobble, sure. I guess this is kind of like a turn 4 kill. Assuming they win this turn, which is not a given for sure. All right, what do they got here? I do assume I'm dead, but I guess I would like to see how. Inti. Okay, the signs point to me not being dead this turn then, which does mean if I draw, they kind of have to sack the one ring, or at least the mana crypt, which means if I draw a shallow grave or any reanimation for Gristlebrand, depending on, oh, they're going to echo Vians, never mind. Well, they're going to echo Vians with 3 mana up. I can't block still. I go to 13. I'm not dead. Yeah, we'll see. The echo means that all the cards they drew didn't do that much for them. So they can sack LED for whatever color they want, and then they can echo, and they're... I guess they haven't played a land yet, is that right? I guess so. And they get to see 7 new cards, still with 3 mana, but they have 8 cards in hand and 3 mana now, so it doesn't really change... Well, there's the mountains, there's the 4th, but it doesn't really change that too much. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. I guess when they Inti, they LED, they get to Inti as well. They discarded Brain Freeze, Crater Maker, Emery, Shelldock. Okay. They exiled Snapcaster Mage. Have they not played enough spells to Brain Freeze me? I guess they haven't. They played Bauble, Inti. They could play Snapcaster. Oh, they could have Snapcaster Time Warped as well. All right, they echoed Eon's 5 spells right now, so they could if they drew Brain Freeze, they could Brain Freeze me for 18. 3 more if they play out another spell first. I think they had enough mana. Yeah, I think they actually messed up. They had enough mana. They could crack LED and then just Snapcaster Time Warp with all their 7 mana instead of casting Echo. And then they just attack me again with these 3, and then I just die, I think, to throwing the one ring at me with Broadside Bombardiers, especially since they could throw the Mana Crypt at me first. Take me to 11, 5. Yeah, I'd be dead. So they had a win there. They didn't take it. We'll see if they've assembled a win with their next bunch of cards here. And if not, I don't directly have a win, but I do have a Gristlebrand that I'm going to be pitching here. And hopefully find a shallow grave. They Bombardier sacking the ring to kill my Goblin. Okay. I'm okay with that. I also have Fire Covenant here to wipe those 2 things, and that could be pretty good. At the very least, they should play their Snapcaster Mage, now that they have the mana floating. Oh, they could play Rabblemaster as well. Or one of the 2. All right. This looks like a Rabblemaster, actually. Yeah. Honestly, for all the stuff they did, this wasn't that bad. Like, we didn't die, and we didn't even take that much damage. All right. Draw Ashen Rider well. Yes, I'll discard Ashen Rider, then Gristlebrand, I guess. I want Ashen Rider in the graveyard, then Gristlebrand, draw 2. So I could play Mana Vault and then play Bitter Reunion. The question is, if I play Bitter Reunion, what am I looking for? Am I trying to draw an animate spell? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to pay 7 life to kill those. And then play a Mana Vault here. And then next turn, try to do my things. I feel like seeing another turn's worth of cards is going to be better than just tapping a Mana Vault to cast Bitter Reunion. Because it's not like a Shallow Grave or an Animate even wins me the game. Especially since they won the Mana Crypt flip. Oh, am I just dead to Fiery Confluence now? Looks like it. Okay, well, you know, things could have been worse. I think Fiery Confluence probably good given what I saw. They had, and Bone Crusher too, they kind of a lot of targets for these. This makes me want Gut a little bit less, just given that they have a bunch of removal too. And I like Deep Cavern, I like Inquisition. I like most of this stuff. Maybe I just don't want Fiery Confluence. Maybe I'll just keep the Bone Crusher because I like Fire Covenant and Fury. I don't want too many effects like that. All right, time for game 3 here. Let's see if we can complete the clean sweep or on the play. Yeah, I will keep this on the play. I don't think I want to fire off the turn 1 Faithless Looting though, for a couple reasons. One, I don't have a creature to animate, so when you have one in your hand that you already know you want to discard, looting feels pretty good to cast because you at the very least have 1 discard locked up. When you don't, like this hand is perfectly good. Every other card is actually fine. I don't really want to discard them, so I'm just casting looting to mill my top 2. It doesn't sound great to me. Okay, well, this is quite a start here. And they kept the card on top. Oh, wow. All right. I guess I should Deep Cavern bat them, huh? And hope to draw an animate target sooner rather than later. Well, in that case, I'm just going to looting. And discard Archon and a Mountain, I think. And then hope that I get to Necromancy next turn. Life, or the One Ring does stop Archon. So I guess, I was pretty sure that's the card they left on top. I guess I do want to Necromancy it anyway. Oh, there's an Ashen Rider too, huh? Ashen Rider's also pretty nice. Let's see. Yeah, you know what? I'm still just gonna Necromancy the Archon here. They have all these wheels and stuff in their deck. Like, I'm just gonna put this into play. I don't know how they're gonna deal with it, and it attacking next turn will be good. There's ways that if they deal with this, then maybe I'll have to regroup. But I can also flashback looting, because if they bounce the Archon, I can flashback looting, discard Ashen Rider and Archon, and then get something going that way too. Shelldock, sure. Next turn I'm going to get to Archon them, and depending on what I draw, like I can play Inti first, attack, discard Ashen Rider, and if I draw any land off the Archon trigger or draw step or Inti, then I get to Ashen Rider them as well. That sounds pretty good. Oh, I'm hoping that all can happen. Okay, Chromatic Star is fine. I mean, I guess Shelldock is going to happen next turn, and well, it depends. If I can kill the One Ring, Shelldock gets a lot harder for them to manage here. Yeah, I don't have any plays. They're getting down on mana, but anytime they have Breach, LED, Brain Freeze, Echo type cards, you never know. They're Flame Slashing the Archon. All right, and they're going to stomp it as well, I guess. Oh, Snapcaster Flame Slash. Sure, that part's fine. So I didn't get to Ashen Rider them, but I think I'm still just going to Archon them. I would rather Archon them. Well, I don't even have the option of Ashen Ridering them, actually, so yes, I'm going to Archon them. Oh, their Dragon's Age Channeler is still just a 1/1. All they have is artifacts and lands. That's pretty funny. All right, land would be nice here. I guess, well, we'll see if I draw land at the outset. Oh, Shallow Grave? Wow, that's much better. All right, let's go Shallow Grave. I'm going to keep black up because I would like to Deep Cavern bat them after all is said and done. Yeah, this is insane. Now they're 50-50 to just straight up die to Mana Crypt. Oh, I drew a land? Hold on. If I play Inti and I attack for 7, they take 10. Yeah, that's, I think, even better because that also leaves an Inti in play. And it puts an Ashen Rider into my graveyard, which is nice. Plus, they're going to have 1 card left after the bat, so I'm not really that worried. Yeah, let's discard Ashen Rider. And there's nothing I can play, so hopefully, yeah, just exile the land. They go down to 10, then they go down to 3. They have 1 card left. And now they're 50-50 to die to Mana Crypt. And they also have the One Ring putting them down to 1. And they won the flip. Okay, let's see if they can win from here. I think it'll be pretty difficult, but certainly possible. And they get to One Ring. They get to Shelldock Isle. I get to cross my fingers that I don't get brain freezed out this turn. I mean, maybe playing Deep Cavern Bat was better, actually. Getting their last card. I don't know how relevant it was, but I feel like, okay, there's the Breach. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I feel pretty dead now. If they have Brain Freeze somewhere, it looks like, which it looks like they might. I guess they could also be playing Emery with Breach a few times. I don't know. I guess I just needed to, yeah, there's the Brain Freeze. I guess I just needed to win the Mana Crypt flip or either of them. All right, there's LED, there's Brain Freeze. They're 1, but I don't think I have I don't have Necromancy, so I don't have, or Shallow Grave. I don't have a way to like deal 1 damage on upkeep. So I think we're going to have to settle for a second place here. A 2-1. Yeah. Now we are pretty dead. I guess the ring found them what they needed. And couldn't quite get there on that Mana Crypt. Well, I guess that'll do it. I don't really need to see the rest of this. I don't have a way to shuffle, and that gives us a 2-1, which, you know what? That's all right. This deck was pretty good, but our opponents had a lot of mulligans. Oh, wait, it's actually in here. So I'm not too broken up about it, but yeah, I mean, it's just very solid, like Ashen Rider, Gristlebrand, Archon deck with Necromancy, Animate Dead. I don't think I ever cast Animate Dead. I feel like I cast Exhume, Shallow Grave, and Life Death a lot more. And with Looting, Bitter Reunion, Inti as ways to discard, Fable as well. Very solid Black Reanimator. This is like the template for Red-Black Reanimator, and even though we didn't quite get there in the end, I feel like it was a pretty good run and pretty fast, so I'll take that. All right, that'll do it for today. I'll be back tomorrow with more cube action, get some team drafts in this week as well, and I look forward to doing all that, and I hope you're there. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps out the channel, and you won't miss a single draft.